The twin suns of Kepler 442b cast harsh shadows across the crystalline formations as Marcus Chen adjusted his environmental suit's cooling system. 3 months into his xenobiology survey mission, he had grown accustomed to the planet's peculiar beauty, towering spires of living crystal that hummed with bioluminescent energy, and forests of what the locals called singing trees that responded to emotional frequencies. What he hadn't grown accustomed to were the Zephyrians. The insectoid species dominated this sector of space with their rigid caste system and unwavering belief in genetic purity. To them, humans were barely evolved primates, useful for manual labor perhaps, but certainly not worthy of respect. Marcus had learned to ignore their chittering dismissals and compound eyes that tracked him like a pest. A high-pitched keen echoed through the crystal valley, different from the usual harmonic resonance. Marcus paused his soil sampling and listened. The sound came again, desperate, frightened, distinctly organic. Following the distress call, he navigated between the towering formations until he found its source. Huddled against a cluster of smaller crystals was a creature no larger than a house cat, but clearly intelligent. Its scales shifted from deep purple to pale silver with fear, and 4 delicate wings trembled against its serpentine body. Most remarkably, a crown of small crystals grew from its skull, pulsing with the same bioluminescent patterns as the formations around them. A Zephyrian hatchling. But not just any hatchling. This one bore the crystalline crown that marked it as potential royalty, a genetic trait that appeared perhaps once in a million births. Marcus approached slowly, hands visible, the creature's large, faceted eyes fixed on him, and its distress calls softened to curious chirps. When he knelt and extended his palm, it sniffed cautiously before crawling into his hands. "Lost, aren't you?" Marcus murmured. The hatchling's scales shifted to warmer blues and greens at the gentle tone. The thunder of approaching wings made Marcus look up. A hunting party of adult Zephyrians descended from the sky. Not the workers or scholars he was used to seeing, but warriors. Their chitin was scarred and dark, their wings bearing the ritual markings of the purest faction. The lead warrior, easily twice Marcus's height, landed with a crash that sent crystal fragments skittering. When it spoke, the universal translator struggled with the rapid clicking syllables. "Human filth. You contaminate royal blood with your touch." Marcus stood slowly, the hatchling still cradled in his hands. This little one was lost. "I was helping." "Lies." Another warrior moved to flank him. "You steal hatchling for experiments." "For breeding. Human corruption must be cleansed." Marcus felt the hatchling press closer to his chest, its scales now flashing rapid patterns of distress. He recognized enough Zephyrian color language to understand. The little one was trying to tell its own people that it had sought out the human for protection. But the warriors weren't listening. "The royal bloodline remains pure," the leader hissed, raising wicked-looking talons. "The abomination dies with you." Abomination. Marcus felt something cold settle in his stomach. They weren't here to rescue the hatchling. They were here to destroy it. The crystalline crown, which should have marked it for reverence, had instead marked it for death. Some faction dispute, some political purge that had decided even royal genetics weren't pure enough. "You're not here to save it," Marcus realized aloud. "You're here to kill it." "Impure blood must not propagate," the leader confirmed. The hatchling's parents bore human sympathies. Contamination spreads. The hatchling's scales went completely white with terror. It understood. Marcus looked at the ring of warriors closing in, then down at the small creature in his hands. In its faceted eyes he saw intelligence, fear, and something else, trust. This tiny being had run to him for protection, somehow understanding that the human would be safer than its own kind. "No," Marcus said quietly. The lead warrior's mandibles clicked in amusement. "Human meat thinks to challenge the hunter caste?" Marcus carefully placed the hatchling on his shoulder, where it gripped his environmental suit with tiny claws. Then he reached into his equipment pack and withdrew something that made the warriors take an involuntary step back. "A human emergency beacon. Do you know what this is?" Marcus asked, his voice carrying across the crystal valley with uncharacteristic authority. "It's connected to the human survey fleet. 15 dreadnoughts currently in orbit around your homeworld, conducting peaceful scientific exchange." The warrior's aggressive postures wavered slightly. Marcus continued, his thumb hovering over the activation switch. "Now I need you to understand something about humans. We have a few rules we really truly care about. One of them is, We don't let children get murdered in front of us. Ever. For any reason. The lead warrior's compound eyes tracked the beacon nervously. You would risk war for alien spawn? Oh, I wouldn't risk it, Marcus said, and his smile was sharp as a blade. I'd guarantee it. You see those 15 dreadnoughts? They're just the advanced survey fleet. But humans have this funny habit. When someone threatens kids in front of us, we tend to take it personally. Really personally. He gestured to the sky with his free hand. Right now, those ships are monitoring all transmissions from this area. If this beacon activates, they'll scan the area and see exactly what happened here. And then they'll send a message back to human space that says, the Zephyrians hunt children. The warriors were backing away now, wings half spread for flight. Do you want to explain to your high command why the human fleet just labeled your entire species as child killers? Do you want to explain why trade agreements worth billions of credits just evaporated? Do you want to explain why every human ship in this sector just received authorization for protective intervention? Marcus's voice dropped to a whisper that somehow carried more menace than a shout. Because I promise you, warriors, that before your purification reaches one more hatchling, human space will turn your entire hunter caste into radioactive vapor. The lead warrior's talons scraped nervously against crystal. The hunting party exchanged rapid clicks and gestures. Arguments, Marcus realized. Fear was winning. This is not finished, human, the leader finally spat. Oh, but it is, Marcus replied. Because that little one on my shoulder? It's now under human protection, and humans don't abandon children. Ever. The warriors launched themselves skyward in ragged formation, their retreat echoing through the Crystal Valley. Marcus waited until they were specks against the distant moons before letting out a shaky breath. The hatchling chirped softly and nuzzled against his neck, its scales shifting to grateful golds and warm purples. Well, little one, Marcus murmured, activating his comm system to contact the survey fleet. Looks like you're coming home with me. Hope you like Earth food. The hatchling's response was a contented purr that harmonized with the singing crystals around them. In the distance, the twin suns set behind the alien spires, painting the sky in shades of hope. After all, humans had one more rule that the Zephyrians were about to learn. Family isn't about genetics or purity or politics. Sometimes family is about who runs to you when the monsters come hunting.